What's going on, vlog? So it's dawned on me that as we're getting to know each other, that I haven't really divulged into how I even got into photography. So let's talk about that today. But you can see here I'm cooped up in my office. I've been working. Desk is all dirty. I need to get things cleaned up, but it's a super nice day today. So let's go out and let's talk about how I got started in photography.
I don't wanna be a blanket that you wrap around to forget about. I don't wanna be the same thing that you left before. Do it all once more. I don't wanna be a blanket that you wrap around to forget about. I don't wanna be the same thing that you left before. Do it all once more.
So I actually got started with photography and actually really introduced and interested in photography at a pretty young age. As a matter of fact, dating all the way back to like second grade or so, I did a project for school, like the whole, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And my response, no joke, was to create art and sell it to people and to become famous selling art. How crazy is that? You know, even as a second grader or first grader, I don't remember exactly what grade I was in, I had the foundational pieces set to create artwork for a living. Now, obviously it took years for that to manifest itself into anything, because I tried, you know, painting, arts and crafts, you know, all that stuff, and I was like as terrible as it got. It was embarrassing, and my wife is very frequently quick to remind me of how bad it was. So it's not like it was the very first thing I took up within art was the thing. So fast forward to about middle school or so, we were getting ready to go to a vacation. We're getting ready to go to Disneyland. I was 14 years old, so it was my 8th grade year, so still middle school, getting ready to enter my freshman year in high school. And me and all my cousins were getting stuff from our older family members and whatnot for the vacation. So, you know, getting new clothes, new this, new that, just getting ready for our family vacation at Disneyland. And literally the only thing I wanted was disposable cameras. I wanted 2 disposable cameras, and I took like, I think you can fit like 32 pictures on it. So I took like 64 pictures. Man, you could take 64 pictures just right now. It's crazy. But back then, things were a little bit different. I only wanted cameras. How crazy is that? Then fast forward into high school, my grandparents actually bought this little Canon PowerShot. I think it was like 4 megapixels. It was a point and shoot camera. Man, I swear I took that thing everywhere. I always wanted to be taking pictures all the time. It's the only thing I ever wanted to do. I was always that guy at the gatherings and whatnot, taking pictures and like documenting it. I always wanted to put them on my MySpace page and stuff like that. Remember when MySpace was a thing? How crazy is that? Woo! It just got super noisy. Let's move. See, but then something happened. Up to this point, all we're doing, taking pictures, you know, not really creating photographs necessarily. We weren't taking IG bangers back then. But I got into sneakers. I became a sneakerhead. Back then, that word actually didn't exist yet. But I started buying Jordans, started collecting sneakers, and within that culture, I started seeing these really crisp pictures on online forums, Nike Talk. I joined in like 2007. I was like, man, what is it about this crispy shoe? It's just bam, razor sharp focus, and then everything behind it was super blurry. I loved it. Didn't know what it was called. Obviously now, you know, we know that that's depth of field. We know that that's bokeh, depending on what you want to call it. We know what that is now, but that look was like the most coveted thing for me in the world at the time. And it was like my goal to like figure out how to get that creamy background blur. And I always thought, and in my youth, I thought that it was actually done in Photoshop, done in post-processing. So I learned how to use Photoshop really well at a super young age. I was creating background blur with like stuff that had no business having background blur in it, and it was just like goofy looking, and I couldn't figure it out. So fast forward into college, I end up buying my very first like good camera, if there is such a thing. Oh, look at me, I'm all overexposed. I buy a Sony NEX5. Now this was like 2011 if I'm not mistaken. The Sony NEX, these mirrorless cameras had kind of just started breaking the surface. Nobody took them serious, even less so than now. And that was my very, very first camera. But the thing is, it came, of course, with a kit lens, so that 18 to 55, 3.5 to 5.6 is not going to provide that background blur that I was oh so coveting. And I didn't really know what I was doing. Nobody else knew what they were doing on online forums and stuff like that. And really, to the discredit of the mirrorless systems, I ended up getting a DSLR. So I bought a Nikon D7000, bought it used, and it was just like it was going to be the savior of my photography needs, right? However, it also came with an 18 to 55 3.5 to 5.6 lens, and naturally it did not serve my needs, so I was so freaking mad. Did some research, found out that what I needed was a 50mm 1.8, so I can get that super duper crisp subject right in the frame with that background blur that's oh so yummy. So I get that lens. At this point, like, some time had gone by. I ended up getting married and whatnot, and this is like 2015 when I bought that camera. And the crazy thing is as I was starting to post these pictures with the amazing background blur and all that stuff of my sneakers, of the pop vinyls I collect and stuff like that, I end up getting invited to second shoot at a wedding. And my initial response when I was invited was just like, nah, I'm good, no thank you. I had no interest in shooting portraits. I had no interest in weddings. I was your typical guy about weddings, believe me. But my wife challenged me, a friend of mine challenged me to say, hey, why not? What do you have to lose, right? Little did I know that was gonna set my life in a whole different path. So that's September of 2015. Come to find out through the wedding that not only did I enjoy it, there was actually a lot of potential there. And taking photos of people, man, it changed my entire outlook on how I view photography. Because before then, like I said, I was taking pictures of inanimate objects. I was taking pictures of shoes. I was taking pictures of toys. Not something that I can turn around and show to the thing I was taking a picture of and have any emotional response. Whereas with weddings, shooting couples and stuff like that, when I take their picture and I show them the back of the camera, or I show them the result after I edit them, there is just this explosion of emotions, explosion of thankfulness, and everything like that. I just love it. It's like one of the biggest highs you can have is just satisfying your clients by giving them value and through what I do with photography. So naturally, it took some time to build a business. So that was September of 2015 when I started. Fast forward to October of 2017. So a little over 2 years from second shooting my first wedding, October of 2017, I went full-time. I left my career in the tech industry and changed my life forever to be a full-time entrepreneur. And boy, am I telling you, it's been a crazy freaking ride. Like, oh my gosh, it's been ups are up, the downs are down. But look, I have always said that my worst day as a photographer, full-time entrepreneur was better than my best day at my old job. And that's no disrespect to the old job. It's just a totally different mindset. It's a totally different situation entirely when you're like trying to survive like on your own, so to speak. It's absolutely insane. I wouldn't trade it for the world. So that is how I got started with photography. Little did I know as a second grader that I would actually literally fulfill the thing that I said that I wanted to do, as to be an artist and to sell my work to other people. And I also said, ooh, that's super loud. I mean, I also said to become famous. I mean, like, I don't know, that maybe that'll happen one day, we'll see. You gotta keep grinding though, right? I'm not chasing fame. I just wanna help other people. So that's it. That's how I got started. How did you get started? What do you do? Are you a photographer also? What do you do? I would love to know, Drop me a comment down below. Tell me what you're into. If you're a photographer, if you're a makeup artist, if you sell jewelry, whatever you do, tell me what you do, because I want to get to know you guys better. And I will see you in the next video, assuming you like this video and you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.
I don't wanna be your blanket that you wrap